Clearwater was one of those towns that seem frozen in time, nestled in the heart of British Columbia, surrounded by thick forests and mountains. It was the kind of place where everyone knew everyone else, or thought they did. Rain fell almost constantly in October, turning streets into wet, shiny ribbons, reflecting neon signs from small shops and the occasional passing car. Mark had lived here for his whole life. At 34, he worked as a local IT technician, a job that kept him mostly indoors, in front of screens and routers, fixing slow internet connections or helping retirees set up email accounts. He liked the quiet life, but sometimes it left him restless. Clearwater was peaceful, but it had the kind of quiet that made you notice every sound: the wind rattling roof shingles, the drip of water from gutters, the occasional caw of a crow from the nearby forest. It was on one of those rainy nights, curled up on his couch with a mug of lukewarm coffee, that Mark decided to dust off his old satellite receiver. Mostly a hobby, he liked scanning different frequencies, finding chatter from weather satellites, amateur ham radio enthusiasts, or old TV signals. But tonight, something caught his attention. A faint signal, grainy and distorted, flickered across his small TV screen. At first, he thought it was just interference, but as he adjusted the antenna, the image resolved, or so he thought. It was his living room. Mark blinked. The camera feed showed his couch, the coffee table, the half-empty mug he had left there. Everything was normal. But then he saw it. A tall, pale figure standing in the corner, completely still. He rubbed his eyes. Maybe it was a shadow. A trick of the signal? No. The figure's head slowly turned toward the camera. Heart pounding, Mark grabbed his laptop and cross-referenced the signal. The frequency didn't belong to any known satellite, nor to any terrestrial feed. It was somewhere else, somewhere unknown. Sleep didn't come that night. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the figure. Always there, always watching. When the rain pattered against his window, it sounded like faint footsteps echoing from the corner of the room. The next morning, Mark tried to convince himself it was a hallucination or technical glitch. He went to his favorite cafe, where the barista Clara greeted him with a warm smile. "Rough night?" she asked. Mark forced a laugh. "Just didn't sleep much. The rain keeps me up." He didn't mention the signal. He couldn't. How would anyone believe him? It sounded insane, even to himself. Over the next few days, small things began to feel off. The lights flickered at random. Objects weren't where he left them. His neighbor, Mr. Peters, waved from across the street, but his shadow seemed delayed, not quite synced with him. Mark started documenting everything. He set up cameras around the house, checked the satellite feed obsessively, and even drove into the nearby forest to see if the signal originated locally. On Thursday night, the feed changed. It wasn't just his living room, it was the whole town. Streets empty in the rain, houses lit with single bulbs, people moving in unnatural ways or not moving at all. And everywhere the pale figure appeared, standing silently, just in the corner of the frame, its head tilted, observing. Mark tried to warn the town, but no one believed him. The police dismissed his story as a prank or stress-induced paranoia. Even his friends, after seeing him nervously staring at screens at odd hours, suggested he take a break. But Mark couldn't. The signal had a pull, a compulsion, didn't understand. And every night, the figure drew closer, not just in his living room, but through the town, through every screen. Sleep became impossible. Mark's apartment felt smaller, the walls closing in, every sound, the hum of the fridge, the tap of the rain, the occasional car felt amplified, threatening. He started seeing things out of the corner of his eyes, fleeting shadows, flashes of pale skin. He read online about electronic disturbances, about people seeing figures in static, about unexplained signals. Nothing fit. Everything matched. He began leaving notes for himself. Don't look away. Don't let it see you. Don't trust the screens. One night, the feed showed something he hadn't expected. A live view from outside his window. The figure was there, at the edge of his property. Tall, pale, motionless. Mark grabbed a flashlight, stepped outside into the pouring rain. The street was empty. Nothing. Just the wind and the occasional rustle of leaves. He turned back toward the house and froze. In his window, reflected faintly in the glass, was not just his own face, but the figure, standing right behind him. He spun around. Nothing. Just rain. Just forest. Just the quiet, unsettling calm of clear water. Mark disappeared that night. The next morning, his apartment was empty. No signs of struggle. His laptop and satellite receiver still active, picking up a grainy, distorted signal. And if you were to tune in, you might just see him, sitting on his couch, staring at the screen, and the figure standing behind him. Some say the figure has always been there, watching, waiting. Others say it only comes to those who notice the signals, those who look too closely. But in Clearwater, the rain never stops, and some nights, when the town is quiet, people swear they can see a pale figure, head tilted, standing in the corner, watching.